This is the best protein bar recipe I've found. I love it. It's easy to make, and you're probably going to want to double up the recipe because it's so good. Here's what you're going to need. Some almond flour, some protein powder. So for protein powder, we like to use coconut protein powder in this recipe because it just tastes really good. A little bit of salt. Those dry ingredients, get them in a bowl, stir them together. Then you're going to want to grab the peanut butter. So I like to use natural peanut butter in this recipe, but you do have to stir it up good and make sure that oil is mixed in with the peanut butter perfectly. It's a great opportunity to get that natural, organic, nothing nasty added peanut butter in the recipe. Your kids will never know the difference. I promise you they won't. Now, if you're a peanut butter lover, you can add a little bit more peanut butter than what the recipe calls for. I'm going to post the recipe at the end in just a minute. Okay, so get all the peanut butter in that bowl. Now, instead of adding sugar to this recipe, we're going to add maple syrup. So I like to get organic maple syrup for this. It tastes good. It's sweet. This is going to be the main sweetener in this recipe. So it's better than adding plain old sugar, and it tastes really good. It's going to mix up really nicely. So pour that maple syrup in with that peanut butter and those dry ingredients, and then add a little bit of vanilla extract. I like this Mexican vanilla. It's really good, and a little goes a long way. Oops. Okay. That's fine too. So once you get all that together, mix it up. It's going to be doughy, kind of like this. After you get that far, you're going to want to add some chocolate chips. So we like to keep this dairy-free, so we use the Enjoy Life chocolate chips. You can use whatever you want. I do like the mini chocolate chips better. Incorporate those really good. It'll look like that. And then all you do is pour that on parchment paper into a dish. So I use an 8x8 dish. If you double the recipe, you can use a bigger dish or just use 2 dishes. But I do like to put it on the parchment paper because you'll see in a minute, if you put it on the parchment paper, it's gonna, they're gonna pull out a lot easier. Now, once you get it in that dish on the parchment paper, just smash it out with a spatula or your fingers until it looks pretty even. You're going to be cutting it into bars, so you do want it to be pretty even. Once you get to that point, instead of putting a lid on my container, I like to put some plastic wrap right down on that batter because that's going to keep it moist and it's going to help it not dry out. You can still put a lid on top if you want to. Throw that in the fridge. Leave it in the fridge at least 4 hours, preferably overnight. I left mine overnight. I'm going to pull out a knife. We like to cut them in little squares like this so that we can choose 1 or 2 squares. Now, that's why I like to put it on parchment paper. See how easy they pull out? Clara has given her approval to these bars. They're really good. And here's the recipe. Double it up. Subscribe for more.